Now this is one of the craziest stories I've come across in a while. We have Grammy nominated R&B singer Angie Stone. Whether you know her or not, this is the most important thing to take away from this video right here. She was just exposing the music industry. She was exposing the labels, basically explaining how they're filthy and how they literally rape people out of their money and profits and have their artists as slaves. Now, after she exposes the music industry like this, and specifically her label, she ends up passing away. So we have Angie Stone passing away after her Sprinter van flipped 3 times after a hit by 18-wheeler. Now, a lot of people are saying that this has to do with her exposing the music industry, and whatever this incident was right here was literally the music industry silencing her, the specific label. We understand there's very powerful people running behind these labels right here, because the music that we listen to in the culture literally controls the world. So they're making so much money, and with money comes power, and if it's in the wrong people's hands, they use the power in the wrong way. Okay, now before we fully watch this video right here and get into a full breakdown video of what happened to Angie Stone, I do need to show you guys the VIP community here. It's growing super fast, 5-star reviews only, great reviews. And this is meant for people, for you guys, my community, the people you watching this video, to grow. I understand I make these videos, they're entertaining. We can all laugh, we all learn. But this community is very hands-on, so we can all grow. Not only physically when it comes to fitness, but financially. Showing you guys how to make money online through starting an online business or even content creation. It's literally up to you. The opportunities are endless within this community right here. If you want to join, if this interests you, just DM me join. It literally does not hurt you at all, and there's endless opportunity, like I said. But without further ado, let's see what's going on in this TikTok video right here.
No, y'all, not Angie Stone. They said that her Sprinter van, oh my God, this just happened. They said it was hit by an 18.
And real quick, a lot of people have been DMing me join, and then when I call them, they're like, oh snap, I didn't think it was you. I'm replying to all of my DMs. Don't think it's some mini AI chat bot. This is my way of connecting with y'all.
Willard, this is someone literally passed by it and they said they didn't have no idea. Oh my God, y'all. Angie Stone passed away today, just now. They said her Sprinter van was hit by an 18-wheeler, which caused it to flip 3 times. And I believe everyone in the van is passed away. I'm not sure if she was the only person. This is heartbreaking, y'all. Oh my God. And she was so young, y'all. Oh my God. This is scary.
But that's sad, bruh.
We just lost Roberta Flack last week. Now Angie Stone. March just started. Literally, the month just started. Rest in peace. My condolences. This is heartbreaking. Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right, we're going to watch this video right here by The Truth Is. He usually gives phenomenal breakdowns. He does a lot of research when it comes to situations like this. All right, this is his channel right here. So I can show you guys so you guys can fully see. And the title of it was Angie Stone silenced for exposing her record label. Let's hear what he has to say.
So many of you guys have been requesting I talk about it, and the reason why you guys are requesting I talk about it was because of what she did a few days before she passed away. Apparently, she went on social media and started to call out her record label, claiming that they were robbing her. She said that UMG was taking all her money, and she decided to speak up against it and went online and started to talk out. And then a few days later, she has this tragic car accident and passes away. This is truly mysterious.
I think this is sad, but I think this is something we have come to see very often, especially in the music industry. There has already been multiple artists that have tried to speak out or go against their record label, and sadly, things like this tend to happen to them.
We're gonna go into the footage in a little bit, but I do want to bring up the fact that you're right. This is something that always tends to happen. The moment an artist comes to the conclusion that they're being robbed or that their record label is taking advantage of them and they make the decision of speaking out, they usually pay a horrible consequence, and it's happening time and time again. We can take this back all the way to Michael Jackson. When he started calling out Sony Music, Michael Jackson paid in the worst way. they took him out. And I don't know if this is what happened here, because they're saying it was a car accident, and we know car accidents do happen. But you can't deny that it is suspicious that this woman went out of her way to call out her label, posted it on social media, and then a couple days later she passes away. It's suspicious. Now, in the video she made, she said some very interesting things. She said that she was surviving the attacks from the devil, and then she goes on to claim that UMG was robbing her, and that they weren't paying her royalties, and that they were taking the money that she needed to provide for her family. And then a few days later, she's gone. Let's take a listen to the video now.
So before I go into just, what I experienced, what I went through, I want to let you guys know I almost didn't make it through this process because it was something that just kind of hit me. It was a day or so before I was scheduled to fly out to Detroit. And I was very excited. All the tickets were bought, the hotels were paid for, the band was ready to go. And then I got hit with this crazy news, and it kind of threw me for a loop. So I figured I better share it with you all, and you can pass it on, because it has been one heck of a ride. This last month, the enemy was trying to take me out. He was really trying to take me out. And okay, I'm gonna wait till we get those 50, 60. We had 51. Let me see, can I get 70 to 100?
Bro, just the fact that she's clearly stating in this video the enemy has been trying to take her out before she passes. Come on. That means she was already sensing it before it even happened.
People in the room right now before I reveal some very, very interesting information. And it is like a double-edged sword, because I'm going to tell you one thing, and then I'm going to get to the worst thing that could possibly happen to any artist after 45 to 50 years in the business. The worst thing that could happen. It has, of course, happened to me, and I'm constantly in prayer for God to forgive the people that have wished me ill will, or done anything to remotely get in the way of the gift of sharing with my fans. The devil tried to stop that. It was snatched down, then it was put back up. He tried to, of course, blame it on me, but it wasn't my fault. However, the song prevailed after everybody bailed. The song went all the way to #1 and is steadily climbing the chart. But I will have my team posted as a reveal, because it is a secret that I'm revealing. But the latter part of the conversation is really, really crazy. TikTok page. Anyway, what happened 2 days before my show? Whew. But God, I'm trying to keep from crying, because the devil was very, very, very particular in targeting me. But anyway, I was rushed to the hospital because I wasn't breathing so well. Came to find out, I had what was a bacterial blood infection that I had gotten when they stuck me with the needle. It had went into my bloodstream.
Wait, what needle?
And caused a staph infection of the blood. Now, I didn't have a clue that there was a blood infection until they rushed me into ICU. I went into ICU, and I went to use the restroom, and I passed out in the restroom. My oxygen went all the way down. It rendered me basically unconscious. When I came back to, the nurses began to tell me that I was screaming for Jesus, because when I went down, I'm sorry, I didn't know that, I didn't know what was happening. All I know is it was all of a sudden. And I began to praise God and call on his name, because I knew biblically that if I was transitioning, I needed to be calling on Jesus. And I needed to be calling him by his name, so I began to scream his name.
Man, she knows.
When they brought me to is when they told me I was lucky to be alive, because I was on the floor. And sorry. I knew it was an attack. I knew it was a spiritual attack on me. However, I was treated, and God healed me. He cleared up. After 2 weeks, solid, they cleared up the blood infection. But meanwhile, back at the ranch was
Damn, family, this just got much, like, it was deep from the jump, but this just got much deeper. I didn't think it was going to be getting this deep, talking about spiritual attacks, but, yo, she's aware of what's going on spiritually, and stuff like this happens for her.
coming through all of this. I soon found out that one of the biggest companies that I was with, Universal Music, it's the second part of the ugly truth. We began to research things to check on my royalties and my statements and things that of that nature, only to find out a lot of my publishing, a lot of my royalties, my mechanicals, they have all pretty much been stolen. As I begin to find out things that I never had to look into, because when you hire a team of people that, to some degree, supposed to have your back, you're thinking that they're getting it all together for you. You know, that's why, you know, I respect Oprah Winfrey in that respect when she said, do your own research. After 40-something years in the business, I'm like, well, why? Where are my royalties going? Because I'm not getting this. Come to find out, Universal Music has been receiving all my royalties, all my mechanicals. They've taken pretty much everything. They've stolen, I won't say stolen, but they have taken all the monies that were due to me. They have basically absorbed in that company. And even though there's several class action lawsuits, people that were working on my behalf never even registered the songs. All the songs that I've done, I'm only coming to find out they were not properly registered by the companies that I signed over to. People that were supposed to do their due diligence. So I'm truly a walking testimony that God has carried me all this time. Because if you only knew how much money they have taken from me, how much they have stolen from me, monies that I'm supposed to be, I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made.
Millions.
Supposedly.
Millions.
But there are key people that have been driving the ships. And what they've been doing is improperly representing me, improperly stealing from me, taking things in their own hand, changing and switching lanes because they knew I didn't know that part. So I'm just
bro,
here.
it's such a dirty business, bro. And that's why the internet is a cool thing. The social media is such a dope thing, because you watching this video, you have the power. If you ever thought of like entering like the arts, filming, dancing, singing, rapping, you have the power to post it on your own platform. Yeah, like these record labels could give you a good deal. They can do mass marketing, but you can also educate yourself in the right way to learn mass marketing. That's how Andrew Tate does it. That's how a lot of people, they just get clip pages and they have them clip the videos. That's how your favorite YouTubers, streamers, that's how they all do it. If you want to make that type of money now in the arts, there's different ways to do it. You don't have to sell yourself and get, you know what I'm saying, into dirty business with dirty business partners. You could be running the whole thing yourself. It's just unfortunate because, bro, these labels have been doing this for so long.
To let you know, one way or the other, Universal Music, you're going to have to give up my coins. And so what I'm doing now is whatever is necessary to make sure they pay me for the legacy of my life, for my children and my grandchildren. They're going to have to give me my money. I mean, when you sit back and think Bruno Mars, Dr. Dre, when you think about all these people that have sampled music, if they're filthy rich on it, what's our problem? Or my problem? Oh, yeah. So you got to get a diesel crew, and I call them a diesel crew, to go in and rectify the issue, because evidently all the time that I've been working through things, they didn't get. I'll tell them on my live, please. Okay. Give it to me. Give me your phone. I'm sorry.
As you heard for yourself,
Family, comment down below. What do y'all think? Yeah, I think there's a coincidence, this accident, because it is a car accident. Do you think this it was a regular car accident that had nothing to do with the relations of the label and her exposing what they've been doing with her money and stealing from her? Or do y'all think it has a direct correlation? Comment down below. I want to see what y'all think.
She clearly calls out the label, tells the world to share this, tells the world to help her get this message out there because this label's taking advantage of her. And then a few days later, she passes away. You can't tell me that's not suspicious.
Exactly. Imagine if she would have taken them to court. This is not just a year of her money, 2 years of her money. This is all the money that she has accumulated in her time of being an artist that she hasn't received.
She said like 30, 40 plus years.
That's loads of money that the record label was taking from her that they would potentially have to give to her if she won the case. If they could just remove her and not even have to deal with that, they would just continue to take her money and have her removed out of the picture completely.
Realistically, if you think about it, they're gonna make more money now. Because if they're the ones that have ownership of her rights and she passed away, her streams are gonna shoot through the roof. People are gonna wanna listen to her music to remember her. Her putting the record label in the spotlight, calling them out for what they did to her, this is something that so many artists have done. And this is something that we've already seen. This is an outcome that we continue to see. For example, not that long ago, Aaron Carter had a similar fate. He was on social media calling out his record label, claiming that they were robbing him, that they had taken money from him. He said that they owed them millions of dollars.
That I've had to do in order to protect myself from being the silence breaker for my brother now they're after my life. My whole family is after my life, and they're setting me up. And Sony Records owes me $3.5 million, and they don't want to pay me, and it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me. And Brad basically who sued Sony Records for $10 million. They owe me money, and they're trying to put me off.
And then a few days later, he passes away mysteriously in his home. This is the same type of death that we've seen with so many celebrities. And you can't tell me that it's not suspicious. Some people might call it a coincidence, but I don't believe in coincidences. For Angie Stone, I understand a car accident might have not been in their control, but I know you guys have heard of the situation of Michael Hastings and how he was taken out. He was exposing the head of the CIA at the time, and he had released documents about him. And out of nowhere, he was traveling in his car, and his car just went full speed into a tree. Witnesses that were at the scene said it almost looked like his car had lost control. And a lot of people to this day believe that his car was hacked into and he was made to crash. So this situation with Angie Stone might be a similar scenario. There could be a possibility that her vehicle was hacked. All of these vehicles have computers in them, and these computers could be hacked, and they can make the car accelerate, they can make the car brake, they can make the cars do whatever they want. And I'm not saying this is exactly what happened, but I will say that it is very suspicious, to say the least. Just imagine a few days before she was calling out the label, and then she passes away.
Yeah, I think by now it's obvious that these record labels and these bigger companies are just super money hungry, and they don't even care about their artists, like we were speaking about with the whole entire Kodak Black situation. And this is kind of like the whole Tory Lanez situation. I know he's not dead, but he was trying to leave his record label, become independent. They were not trying to let him go, and we all see what happened to him, and we all see where he is. He's been sitting in prison now for several years.
Exactly. Tory Lanez is a perfect example. Like you said, he's not dead, but they locked him up. They gave him 10 years. What Tory Lanez did, Tory Lanez went in the...
And he was straight up exposing them, too. Like, he was exposing them to the point where he was literally saying that the record labels are sacrificing people. Talking about how they trying to get people's soul. A mainstream artist like him.
And refused to sign to any other label. And when he did that, I feel like they put a target on his back, specifically with Roc Nation, who was rumored to have reached out to him and offered him a deal with the whole time that he was messing around with Megan Thee Stallion. But Tory Lanez refused because Tory Lanez wanted to be independent. He felt that he was going to make so much more money, which is true. He was going to make so much more money, and he had a lot of clout at the moment. He was popular after the live streams that he was hosting during the pandemic. He was definitely going to make a lot of money independently, and he was going to set an example for other artists. Other artists would look at Tory Lanez like, oh, he's independent, he's making more money, he's free, he doesn't have to do whatever the label says, he's not under their control. And that would have been a massive problem for the record labels. So what they did, they completely took him up.
That's exactly what I'm telling you guys. Like, you have the power of doing it. Like, at this point, you literally have the power of doing whatever you want to do. Like, anything you put your mind to. Because this industry is just so dirty. It came to the point where he was going to set the perfect example to inspire other rappers and show them that they don't need a label to be successful. And that's going to realistically end up messing up the label's money and then making more money for the people doing the music. They didn't want that. So they, you know what I'm saying? Look what they did to Tory, bro.
Oh, while he's still alive, he's locked up. He's gonna be in prison for 10 years, and when he gets out of there, there's a high chance that his music career would be over. And since the record labels are no longer gonna be supporting him, you know what's gonna happen. His career is done. Once the record labels aren't behind you and they start working against you, they blackball you. You start losing fans. The fans don't see you. He can't get marketing support. It's going to be a problem for him to have a successful career now. And that's exactly what they want. They don't want successful artists independently. They want to be able to do what they were doing to Angie Stone. They had Angie Stone under this terrible contract, is what I'm assuming, because like she said, she wasn't getting any of her royalties, and they were taking all that money that she earned. And this is what the labels like to do, because this is how they stay rich and keep the artists poor. Most people believe that rappers and artists are rich, but that's not the case. These artists are spending record label money most of the time. The record label gives them an advance, and that's the money they pretend to be rich with. If they manage to get a hit song, the record label gets all that money because they have to recoup the money that they lend the artist. And the way that they do this is extremely shady. They have the system rigged where the record label takes a large percentage of the money that comes in before it's applied to the amount of money that the artist owes. So for example, if an artist gets $1 million deal, and the record label gives them $1 million advance, the artist now owes the record label $1 million. The moment the artist gets a nice hit song and the hit song makes $1 million, before that $1 million is applied to their debt, the record label is going to take their 60 to 80% cut, and then the rest is applied to the debt. So the artist has to come up with several hit songs to be able to get out of that deal. Something that often doesn't happen because most of the times artists only get that one hit song, and that hit song is usually owned by the record label. As we can see, when artists start to figure it out that they've been robbed, that they've been bamboozled, they start to call out the label. The label doesn't like this, and every time that this happens, we see an artist pay the consequences.
Exactly. And like I said in the
That's
beginning,
insane.
this is super sad. And my heart
Bro,
goes out.
that's some dirty work, bro. Bro, that's like some insane dirty work. Oh my gosh. Cause he's saying that, bro, the $1 million, the advance, the record deal that the artists get, that's not even their money. That's a loan that they're taking out. All right. Now, in the process of them paying back that loan through the profits that they get through the music and the marketing, the whole 9 yards, literally only 20% of it is going towards actually paying off the loan. So it's like they're gonna forever be in debt, and then who knows, after they pay out the loan, the label's still gonna be taking a high percentage. So that's a tough one.
Out to her family, and I really hope that they get to the bottom of this and they continue to fight for their mom's royalties and figure out what had happened and what went wrong with her contract, because she and they deserve some type of justice, especially now that she's not even here to fight for herself anymore.
Hopefully that happens, but realistically, the way these record labels work, I don't see it happening, honestly. These labels have the system rigged, and I believe they have everything rigged. When these artists get taken out, they have people that most likely make it all go away. They have people that, change evidence or have the media run specific type of stories where they can discredit the artist or whatnot. And that's what I believe is going to happen now, because unfortunately, if you think about it, all of these celebrities that face this consequence, they eventually get forgotten. And the system continues to operate the same way. While I can't say that she was 100% taken out, I can honestly say that this seems to continue to happen to so many artists, and it's been happening for so long. People think that it also happened to Prince. It was documented that Prince was having trouble with his labels, and they were robbing him, and then Prince passes away. This is the same technique. And then we're told we're given this nonsense story that we all have to buy and we all have to agree to, because if anybody decides to call it out, you're a conspiracy theorist, you're crazy. You have to believe what the media tells you. And that's nonsense, because we can see the pattern. Those of us that have our eyes open, we notice what's happening. There's a possibility that this was just a horrible accident. But why did it happen right after she called out the label? It just doesn't make sense to me. It seems too suspicious, and I know how the music industry works. I've been exposing it for 4 years. I know for a fact that they remove artists when they don't want them around anymore. Now, one thing that I did see that was rather suspicious to me is that it seems that her son was a Saturn worshiper, like many of these occultists in the industry. Yesterday, the same day his mom passed away, he posted this on Instagram referring to Saturn, and the post said, 28 years for Saturn to cycle around the sun, 28 G's to make a whole thing. Saturn year. Super focused right now. Got some big surprises for y'all very soon. Me and my team been working very hard to bring something meaningful and special to the ones who have been down with this long. But tonight we gonna celebrate. Meet me at the club. He posted this the same day his mom passed away, and if you can see, he referred to Saturn. He was referring to the Saturn's return. This is actually...
Yeah, hell nah, bro. Like, bro, if anyone is worshiping the freaking moon or the sun or the planets as a god, you know what I'm saying? That's questionable. You gotta question what's going on there. I'm just at least glad for the fact that Angie Stone, when the first time that she felt as if she was transitioning, she was calling on the name of Jesus. Because Jesus is the only person that even claimed that he can save a person from death. That guaranteed eternal life just by believing in him and having that faith in him. So when it did come to the point where she did believe she was transitioning, she had that faith in him. So that's fortunate, you know what I'm saying? But this whole Saturn thing right here,
away, and if you can see, he referred to Saturn. He was referring to the Saturn's return. This is actually a ritual that many occultists do in the industry. If you saw my video breaking down the Saturn code in Hollywood, you would know that people like Ariana Grande and many other celebrities did this Saturn return ritual. It's a year of reflection and growth for them, and they see it as a moment of rebirth. The fact that he posted this the same day
and
his
then
mom...
even in the song Karma with Ice Spice and Taylor Swift is a known witch. Like, she's done many rituals. They were having that entire Saturn theme in that entire music video.
Passed away. Seeing this post to me indicates that he's definitely in the occult world, because this is something that all these occultists are doing. That stands out to me, and it clearly indicates that there has to be some foul play going on. I don't want to blame her son and say he had anything to do with it, but seeing that post, it lets me know that he's a part of the same club as everyone else in Hollywood. It lets me know that he's most likely into the occult. He wouldn't be posting this if he wasn't.
It definitely sticks out, because if I'm not mistaken, didn't his mom pass away early in the morning around 4 a.m.?
The news reported that the accident did happen early in the morning, around 4 to 5, if I'm not mistaken.
So you're telling me a man whose mother just passed away, instead of mourning his mom and maybe not posting something like this on his Instagram, decides to make this type of post? That does not make sense to me, because anybody with the right sense of mind would probably stay off of social media for a while at that.
To me, this whole situation is strange. While it could have just been an accident and a tragedy, it could also have been the industry silencing another artist that was speaking out against them. It could be another instance of the industry taking out a voice that was bringing up concern about them. And this is exactly why I exposed the music industry, because the devil owns it. It's not that beautiful place that all these fans think that it is, and all these artists that are coming up want to be a part of. This is what the industry is. If they're not robbing you, they're taking you out because you called them out for robbing you. This is what the industry is about. And if we don't call it out and show them that we're paying attention, it's going to keep on happening. So many of these people are going to be taken advantage of from the beginning to the end. They're going to sign these deals, they're going to get robbed, and after getting robbed, when they feel robbed and they call them out, they're going to get silenced. That's not a coincidence. I remember years ago I spoke about the Empire curse, where all these artists were signing to Empire and then they mysteriously passed away, and Empire stays with the rights of all these artists' music. I don't think that...
Bro, all these artists passed away in mysterious ways, bro, and they were all signed to Empire, and they were all hella young. Come on now.
The record label just signed a bunch of artists and they all just so happened to pass away. Obviously, there has to be more to that. There has to be more to that. And when you look into it, you can see the clear signs that there was definitely more to that. In this situation, I believe that there has to be more to it. It's the same thing with the Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman passed away along with his wife and one of his dogs. Right now, they have no information to tell us how he passed away. And like I said in the last video, I do understand that he's a 95-year-old man.
All right, fam, we're going to leave that video right there. Like I said, comment down below what y'all think. What are your thoughts and opinions about this entire situation with Angie Stone? And do not forget, we got this community right here. Literally, it's meant for people that want to grow and elevate, stay more consistent when it comes to their finances, their fitness, mindset, the whole 9 yards. If you're interested, literally just DM my Instagram, join, and I'll be responding to you. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.